Hi, this is Tina with SI2, and we're going to do our mid-year interventions and evaluation discussion with the Council during December. So welcome. During the December Council discussion, we are going to be looking at some very important information. So we really want to thank you in advance for being a part of this. Today particularly, we're going to discuss the success of the implementation of the interventions so far. And this has been a tricky year. So you may be seeing some discrepancies, but it's perfectly fine. For your online discussion, of course, as usual, you wouldn't be looking at this if you hadn't already opened your email from the council discussion person at your school. You're going to click on the link from the email that was sent to you. That will take you into the online discussion area, the same pattern as always before. This time you're going to be clicking on links in the upper right-hand corner, and these will be the materials that are needed for this month's discussion. When you're looking at the crosswalks, this may be a term that's a little bit odd to you, but it's something that we use in the VTA process. And crosswalks are just basically used, and we use them quite often, but they're used to make sure that the root causes in this case are being effectively covered by the chosen interventions. And so when you look at these crosswalks, you will see a grid. And the grid will be showing you the interventions and will be showing you the root causes. And as we've said before, this year is a little bit tricky. So you may need some answers from some of the council discussion people on this, which is perfectly fine. I'll give you that information here in just a minute. But what we really want to do is we want to have this discussion making sure that we're looking at those root causes, those problems that are keeping the data from moving, and making sure that they're still working as they should with the interventions that have been put into place. So there again, when you're reviewing those crosswalks, any question at all that you have, and it doesn't matter what the question is. If it's a question of clarification, that's perfectly fine. You can put a question in just by typing in the discussion box, and your name is appearing above it. So your identification is automatically there. And like we've said, this one is a little bit trickier, especially if you're not familiar with these, but it is so important because we really need to make sure that we're staying on the path, even with this less than normal year. And so if you need a clarification, perfectly fine. You'll start the conversation with the council discussion person or one of the other steering team members at the school who are monitoring these discussions as we go along. So there are no silly questions, but we really need your input. So you also will click on the link that are for your interventions, and then that will give you the list of the plans that were put into place for this year, for this school year. And there will be an explanation of those interventions when you open that link. And there again, if you need to be reviewed on these, if you need to have someone kind of help you remember the complete explanation of those interventions, it's perfectly fine. This is an ongoing conversation. It's the next best thing to an in-person meeting. And I think we've all pretty much gotten used to typing in those boxes this year. So any questions at all that you have, be sure and ask. And as we say, the steering team monitors discussion then can check those questions, and then they'll make those needed clarifications. And just think of it as if you were in your room full of people who are in this meeting. There may be others with this same question, but asking it will help clarify the information for them as well. A very important part of this, and this is more of a technical issue, but when you put anything into those discussion box, please, please, please make sure and click save after each entry so it will save. If you have any questions at all, please contact your steering team member that's listed on the email containing the information for this meeting. They will be more than happy to help you get through this very crucial part of the discussion. And once again, thank you so much. This has been that year, as we all know. And your contributions really help keep this school improvement plan going. And that's what we desperately need right now, is to keep things going for our student success. Thank you.